One of the things, people that are being gang stalked, targeted individuals, people who are on Facebook fighting for freedom, liberty, Constitution, is that Facebook is a surveillance place. The CIA is watching everything and every comment that they make. And to me, the only goal of Facebook is uniting with people. I get emails from a guy called Mohammed all the time. Well, I subscribe to him because I support Palestine, Gaza, Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan, all the nations that are being attacked by the global elite, corporations, pharma, oil, merged into one giant. United Nations, United States, the Chinese. The global elite sold the debt of America to the Chinese. The Chinese are geniuses at getting their money back. They have enough people to conquer the United States, especially because we're so divided. We watch sports, believe that it's entertainment. It has nothing to do with entertainment. It is a propaganda network to divide nations, men battling men. A fight and flight mentality of sports, always basketball, football, baseball, soccer, whatever it is. It's men battling men. Whenever an initial response from a mind that is programmed by the propaganda network, fear-mongering tube of destruction, when there's no connection to God and truth, the people will always fight and flight. They're very weak-minded, very easily misled. I have fought a battle with the Illuminati, these secret societies, for over 20 years. So you can listen to me. I am also a targeted individual, and it's because I rejected the secret societies. I rejected Hollywood. I was offered a movie role. I rejected a religion of Mormons. I have a daughter within the Mormon religion. And I tried to get her out of what I know in my heart. I've been there. I've been to their churches. I've been to their temples. I was very curious about their religion. It is extremely Freemasonic. Joseph Smith, I saw on a record, is related to George Bush, Obama, all the presidents. This is a secret society global takeover of a foreign nation, not China. This is British, the royalty, the United Nations, the United Kingdom, the Rothschild, Rockefeller, and all their puppets formed secret societies. Even Mardi Gras in New Orleans has secret societies. These men are sadly brainwashed. A lot of them believe in racism. There's always an agenda that separates man from oneness, always. Each organization has their own target. For example, the Mormon religion is a collector trying to figure out the genetic bloodlines of this nation, because when the city of Babel was built, just like Salt Lake City is Babel, the Lord destroyed Babel. He divided the nation, created the languages and the races, so that men won't come together as one again in one evil entity. The New World Order is the Antichrist. God doesn't want us to unite in an evil entity. He wants us to unite with Him, with the light, the opposite, the upside down 5-pointed star, 6-pointed star, the ring of Saturn. It's all symbols of Satanism. Mr. Williams died. Robin Williams. He played Mork for Mork with the hand and the finger pointing in judgment of mankind. It is the time of judgment. He had an upside down pyramid. The pyramid is a symbol of the kings, the higher power, the chakra, the total chakra. If you fly an airplane over a pyramid, you will see the cross. All the four corners unite at the peak of the oneness. It is the exact same symbol of the Mayan, the zodiac, and the Chinese calendar. There's a cross. There's an alignment of a cusp. If you're married to a Virgo and you're an Aquarius, the objection of you two being in a relationship is to take and find self. Once you find self and you center self, your chakra living in the heart, once you radiate that heart energy, both come together. You know self, you know who you are, you know what constellation you were born in. You both learn from each other and you come as one. This is what marriage really is. Once that oneness is formed, and God takes both of you as a one entity, that's what real marriage is. The Mormon church has a marriage of sacred, cultish, separation from God, very ritualistic, with horns and bulls, a separation from God. And they formed an army, the Mormon church. They've got members, and these presidents have dictated what these people do. They will follow their president. These are wonderful people, beautiful people, but they will follow that president, or they will reject it. It's their choice. I'm very questionable about my faith. I'm Catholic. I've learned that they're tied into secret societies, banks, monetary systems, investors. The wealthy cannot get to Christ. It's impossible. So when you go to a kingdom or a temple or a church every week, the four walls are separating you from God because it is a monetary money system. God is not going to come to a church. When I was a child, I used to dream and think. I was infatuated with dinosaurs in the past. I was also infatuated with knowing, where is Jesus going to come? I was infatuated with the stars. And when I learned there's a symbiotic relationship between history, dinosaurs, the stars, and Jesus. And it's all so directly related. History is repeating itself over and over. We circle, the sun and the earth circle around the Milky Way galaxy. Eventually we will get to the center, to where all matter, all living matter, earth, planets, stars, moons, humans, animals, unite as one. This is our ultimate goal. To me, this is heaven on earth, but of course December 21st, in my opinion, was the awakening, and also was written by the Mayans, and the media called it the end of the world. They also call the center of the earth the black hole of death, time travel, dark space, dark matter. Well, it's not dark matter. It's where light unites and combines with magnetism. Man is energy, light, woman, magnetism. The sperm swims to the magnet. We're the energy. In our society, it's been reversed. The women are now the energy, and the man is now the magnetism. I watch media, and I see news, broadcasts, and television shows, and all the men, even if they got broad shoulders, 6'3", they're all acting like women. They talk feminine. They wear feminine clothes. They wear makeup. And they believe that their job is to lie and deceive and to trick. Because you literally, when you're in Hollywood, you have to sell your soul. And I see people waking up in Hollywood and consciously, men like Michael Jackson and Elvis that reached enormous amount of fame. They didn't need the secret society. And when they broke out on their own, the secret society attacked them. On my website, I have a rant that Elvis was going through as the media was demonizing him, that Love's Children is a pedophile. And both of them died by the hand of the serpent, the medical industry, the pills. The serpent strangled their tree of life. A lot of people don't see the things that awakening conscious people see. The leaders have been chosen by God, and they're awakened. I see them all over the internet, all over the media. Thousands upon thousands. And the Mormon, and possibly the Catholic, I don't know what the Pope is going to choose. But one of the first things the Pope did is fire his financial person. They weren't investing in the critical industry of chemtrails. You got to invest in the companies that create the chemtrails, the companies that create the smart meters, the companies that create fracking, and pharma corporations. You've got to invest in these corporations because they decided to make a profit on our slow death. There's no difference between a hospital and a car dealership. You go there, they take an application, and they approve you. If you aren't approved, because the globalist engineers of this planet control, and they've created and built a monopoly that people follow like a deity. I heard a little girl the other day say, well, if I date a guy, I'm going to run a background check. Well, that's the craziest, most ignorant thing I've ever heard of. When you're from the place where I'm from, I worked in banking, I worked in media, been there, I've done it. I was there before the Fair Isaac system. There's a courtroom drama with Hillary Clinton and the Aurora shooting guy and the Sandy Hook shooting father, banking, Fair Isaac and a Bank of America employees and Hillary Clinton, all involved in a LIBOR scandal, the theft of over $300 trillion from America by bankers. And the media covered it up. They cover up everything. that can make us all wealthy. There's something I know in my head that could create wealth for cities and towns in America beyond your imagination. The citizens of your town could be so wealthy, and they could be God-like wealthy. They don't have to be satanic wealthy. I have what in my mind. I know how to become wealthy. If you're just patient and you listen to my words, I could teach you how to become extremely wealthy. God shares that with all the people who are awake. We have that. That's why when I worked for corporations, they didn't like me. They just wanted to suck the energy out of me. And they've used my ideas, and they're making millions off of my ideas. And of course, they control the work record also. Credit reports, work record. Don't say anything. Nobody will mention anything, not your boss, not anyone, that this record even exists, that these foreign dictator secret societies have created, which is called water, straw man, or maritime law. Yes, your name is a capital letter, a birth certificate, a ownership, a commodity, kind of like a tomato. You're sold on the market. And you have to produce like a chicken that's trapped in a 1-by-1 cell. You're a slave, and you have to produce the egg. If you don't produce the egg, the masters slit your throat. If you wake up in the cage and you say, wait a minute, I've got to get out of this cage, I've got to get out of slavery, they end your life. My words of truth is why I'm being targeted and gang stalked. I had a woman marry me. Marry me. That's how horrible the souls of some people are today, because of they follow a propaganda network of fictional reality that money and men rule this planet. God rules this planet. And he's using the wicked to create this sense of ownership, of possession. And all along, he is in control of everything. He knows the heart and spirit of mankind. He knows the evil. He knows the good. He knows it 1,000,000 times more than I do. I can't even comprehend the words and the knowledge of God and his energies of light. It's beyond anything I could imagine. So therefore, as humans, I will never be like a Mormon and believe that I'm going to get a galaxy. God is from the planet Kolob, and Kolob's going to land, and Jesus is going to arrive in Independence, Missouri with aliens and spaceships. Well, I promise you, if an alien spaceship with Jesus lands on it, it will be the global elite faking an alien invasion so that you will turn to the dark side. Everything in your life is upside down. Everything that you've learned has to be unlearned. I am not Yoda, but Yoda knew how to defeat the dark side. You have to erase and connect to the wireless internet of God. All the dirty energy, smart meters, cell towers, radiation pumping, microwave generating, pulse, ultra and infrasonic chimatical weapons that they've created to separate you from God. They're separating the oceans and the whales from God. It is a harsh reality, but it is very true. I believe that the New World Order, there's not one thing that the radio, all the media networks are owned by 6 men. I know, I worked in media. Television, radio, I don't care who your deity is, Fox, CNN, it is a fictional deity. They're not telling you the truth. Please listen to my words. I worked in media. I was an advertising executive, consultant, but I helped people create online appearance, businesses, survive. And as I worked in media, I realized, I woke up, everything that they were telling the businesses was a lie. These people could do this themselves. They were stealing from them, purposely robbing from the people. And if the people canceled their contracts, they would take their franchise because they were partners. Most of my clients were automotive dealers. And I learned that every name on the building of an automotive dealer, they don't own it. The banks own it. The banks own Walmart. The banks own Target. The banks own the oil companies. The banks they own you. They own your house. They own your car. It is a literal takeover. And until people wake up and realize, stop paying your house payment is fighting tyranny. Live in a tent if you have to. Your sheriff controls your town. Influence him to fight for the Constitution. Because you have a right to drive the streets. You have a right to live in a home and to have property and to plant a garden and to own animals. You have a right to live and survive. God gave this planet to you, and the men that created the Constitution divorced. It is a literal divorce decree from the United Kingdom, or the bankers, or the globalist elite, or the secret societies. It is a divorce. As they divorced them, what's happening over hundreds of years, they've gathered and united and bought out everything. I was listening to one of the tapes of one of our presidents. He says, is he a Jew? He wanted to know if he was a Jew because the wealthy Jews kill the poor Jews. The wealthy Americans are now killing the poor Americans. It is all about secret societies and secret bloodlines. And what's so amazing is people like Ted Turner sit on a throne and say, hey, I cannot be defeated. Well, I'm telling you, Ted Turner, if you don't give up your networks back to America and the Constitution and stop demonizing the planet, they're going to take what you have. You are not their bloodline. Any man that is not part of the bloodline, secret societies, you better turn back to America. I don't even know if they exist. Ted Turner might even be the bloodline. I don't know. But this is all they care about. So you police, you sheriffs, you congressmen, you senators, you're not part of their bloodline. They are going to eliminate you. Chemtrails are affecting you. Smart meters are affecting you. You don't have any pure water to drink. And all of this is about the water. Deep, deep under the ground is pure water. The water in your car ignites your engine from compression. The water in a bomb, in a hydrogen bomb, you take pressure and you ignite the bomb with pressure. The oil is a catalyst, but you don't need it. All you do is you increase the pressure and the car runs off of pure water. However, if you radiate the water, you kill the atom within the water, or you poison it or toxin it, you kill the atom in the water, the energy, then it doesn't ignite. You have dead water. So what they're going to do is poison the world's water supply. Chemtrails, fracking, smart meters, it all leads to water. You are water. It's killing you. Cancer is an atomic level cell that is poisoned on the atomic level. So cancer could be caused by fracking, it could be caused by methane gas, caused by any chemical that is against or too much for the body to handle, and they know this. This is why the metal particulates in the air from chemtrails are far beyond the EPA levels, and the EPA says nothing because they're investors. IRS is an investor of your slow death. So is NASA. In Mississippi, they're creating chemical clouds, puffy clouds with a giant jet engine. They've run out all the citizens around this place, this swampland, and they're pumping out toxins so that because people are looking for chemical trails from planes. They've already figured it out. So now they're going to take a giant engine and put it in the swamp, and this engine creates puffy clouds instead of chemical trails. So you can't know the difference. They're disguising it. However, your air is still filled with these chemicals. The water, all in the air. You have to understand something. The air that you breathe, it has water in it. It has trillions upon trillions of... The amount of water that's in the stratosphere is unbelievable. When you're in the mother's womb, you breathe water. In your first week of a trimester, you look like a fish. Then you look like a reptile. You actually have a tail. Then you look like a mammal. They can't tell the difference between a dog, a pig, and a human right around 5 or 6 weeks. There's no difference. However, we evolve with fingers in humanity by the hand of God's energy. The atom. The atom writes the code, the DNA, the water is the key. And what these globalist engineers have figured out, if they make the surface of the waters toxic, they can control a planet. And if you don't obey them, this is our child's future, they will get no water. You cut off the water, they're dead within a week. Some that are really strong-minded might last 20, 30, 40 days. Jesus purified his body by going in the desert for 40 days. He ate no food, no water. When he returned, he drank pure water. It clarified his wireless internet connection to God. These people are called Illuminati because they're luminous creatures. They have wisdom, and they separate the wisdom from you by poisoning you. This is not God's will. God's will is everyone has the wisdom. Jesus turned down being a king of poisoning a planet. He turned it down, and he said, no, I will teach truth, and I will choose the one God. I don't want to be a god of a planet. I want to go to the light, because the light is a higher conscience beyond anything that we can imagine, beyond the eternal death of a vampire life, of being trapped on earth. I don't know what happens when you die, when you're eternally dead. Maybe you become a mosquito, blood-sucking vampire. I don't know what they're promising. Maybe they take your energy and they form a silicone chip with you, and they make you into a computer chip, put you underground, and next thing you know, your energy is radiating that you have a home and a house and a kingdom and a planet in the universe, and you live in Disneyland, Fantasyland. Walt Disney is 666, beginning, middle, and end. They deliberately put 666 in the lettering. It is a fantasy land. You could either go to the fantasy land of Mormonism, or you can go to the light. We're going to be deceived. There's a giant deception coming, and it will be multiple agendas of deceptions. A series of deceptions. They're very deceptive. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, there were 2 years that they evacuated the city. 2 years in a row. When the third hurricane hit, people didn't want to leave their homes. This was deliberately done. They're very deceptive people. They're tricksters. And then they invaded and stole guns out of houses, and they blamed the people. They told the mayor that we're here, and the media was showing something that didn't exist in New Orleans. It wasn't here, and the mayor complained and said, hey, why are you showing on television something that's not happening? I'm here, and you're not here. How did this get on the TV with helicopters and water supply? What did you do? Green screen it? What did you do? Create it in Hollywood? Is Hollywood tied into government? Absolutely it is. And that man is facing prison term for having a business that his son created, a marble company. They'll get you for anything. They either try to gang stalk you, kill you, but he challenged the president. He was taken out. And the people screamed, crucify him, because he was a black man. You see, haters find a reason to hate. Black men hate white men. White men hate black men. Brown men hate white men. It is all a cycle of a fictional reality that's not real. We're supposed to love each other. We're all children of God. The hate that's created in your mind is a fictional television propaganda network. TV was not created for entertainment. It was created to program the minds of the weak and to separate you from God and to sell you fear. Fears. Fictional fears. The only thing we should fear is God's judgment. That's it. Not a snake, not a spider, not a gun, not a devil. We have to look at the devil and say, I know who you are. Do your worst. Do it. I don't care. I am not going to you. When I was a child, dreams would come to me. An innocent child. And devil was always trying to get me. Come to me, young Freddie. Every night he'd come to me. I would run to my parents' bedroom. I want to sleep with you. And sometimes they would say no, and sometimes they would say yes, because they had sex night. People live in the avenue of eat, sleep, go to work, have sex, And they forget about the demons are attacking the minds. Now we think it's normal for children to have nightmares. This is mind control. The mind has no firewall. The children are being demonized at birth. And now they don't even need to tap into their dreams. All they have to do is play a video game or watch television or go to school. Go to the apple of deception. Apple in Latin means evil serpent. Or follow the laws of the water or the straw or the maritime law of evil men, foreign invaders of America and the Constitution. Men who sit on thrones. A priest sits on a throne in his wealthy temple. A judge sits on a throne. They all wear black and white. Deceivers. Yin and yang. Serve man's laws. Prophets. Priests. Deities. Popes. Presidents. All with titles that were given to them by men, not by God. God's rulers are hidden. They're poor. They're the meek. Jesus was a homeless man. Mary was homeless. Joseph was homeless. And they were running from the laws of the Roman soldiers that said, off with Jesus' head. And they ran from village to stop their son from dying, the pure birth. The one who would unite as one with God, his Father, become one with the Father. A lot of people are going to follow with Jesus. Yes, I believe in Jesus, but I believe Jesus became one with God. So God and Jesus is one. So if the 6'2" man from planet Kolob comes and lands in Independence, Utah, where Brad Pitt lives, Brad nails in the hands of Jesus, Pitt, the firing pit, and if you look at his movies, 12 and 7 show up all the time. He does nothing but satanic movies. I wouldn't doubt if Brad Pitt was Satan himself, the real deceiver that will lead the nation. They might even plan to kill his wife because the father of his wife fights tyranny. You don't fight tyranny. They want blood sacrifice. So as they kill his wife, the global event happens. All of a sudden Brad Pitt says, give up your guns. And Brad Pitt says, come to Independence, Missouri, where I'm from, and unite to one religion because they killed my wife. I don't know if this is happening. I don't even know. All I have is messages and dreams and visions. And I share them with you. And I ask that you share yours back. This is what we're doing. We're collaborating the energies of God united, and we're figuring out psychopathic agendas. It's very difficult to read the dark side. They are very, very evil. I can read a man of the light very easy. The dark side will change on you and deceive you. Quick, understand that you are being everything that you say being watched. The largest NSA facility in the world is in Utah. The copper mines, raping Mother Earth, Utah. Walker Ranch, aliens, Utah. Cheyenne Mountain, Area 51, New Mexico, right next to Utah, right next to Walker Ranch. And there's no nuclear facilities there. Targets for bombs. The bombs will probably fall. The series of agendas and deceptions will be viruses, bombs, tidal wave, hurricanes, earthquakes, sinkholes, mudslides, drought, flood, you name it. H.A.A.R.P weapon can do it. They've created weapons against humanity, crimes against humanity. And until we unite and gather, we are the more powerful. These weapons belong to us. They came from our work and our hard labor, our sweat. We were deceived. Everything on this planet belongs to us. There's no person that can take oil out of the ground and rape Mother Earth or water or steal it or hoard it for themselves. It's ours. It equally belongs to every man, woman, and child. If you take the world's wealth and divide it equally. If God came to me tomorrow and said, Fred, you're the ruler of the planet, the first thing I would do is equally divide and spread the nation. Exactly what God did in the time of Babel. Spread the nations, and he divided the wealth. He gave it to people freely. Everyone to harvest and protect Mother Earth. There's nothing more sacred than a farmer or a man who cares for his animals. There's nothing more evil than locking up an animal like the wealthy elite globals do. Feed them hormones and steroids and poisons and then cut their heads off before they reach maturity. They give them no life. They don't eat grass. They don't eat God's food. They eat nothing But the genetically modified beast, they eat the mark of the beast, we eat the mark of the beast. And this is why humanity is bouncing off the walls that were created by our parents, because they've lived a world of fictional reality, the war in the name of peace. And they broke the Constitution by going in other countries and killing people. They broke God's laws, God's covenant. We were given this planet and this earth, and we were given laws to follow, and we're not following them. So therefore we will be judged. You can follow them tomorrow. Right now you can just choose love instead of hate, fear, deception, and separation from God. Money, fictional deities, sports teams, religion. I will say this again, religion. God doesn't exist in wealth. Following and going to a religion of wealth, you are going in the wrong direction. You're going away from the light. The light is the other way. It is upside down Jesus. Jesus was a perfect example of how to travel to the light, and we're not doing anything that he did. They're changing our history. Hollywood's changing our movies. I watched the movie Noah the other day, and I wanted to throw up. I was sick that they're rewriting history. They made Noah look like a very evil man, and they made God look like a man who comes down and rapes and pillages his own planet. He didn't create the flood. We created the flood. Our greed, our slothfulness, our lies, our tricks, our deceptions, and our battling men against men. Mother Earth fights back when you drill her oil. You steal her waters, you poison her energies. She will fight back with a vengeance. Because that's the way she's programmed. That's the way you're programmed. But you live in the TV world and you're not connecting with self. The earth will never disconnect from self. It will fight tyranny when it's threatened. And it's being threatened by all angles. And don't fall for a one religion that invests in Wall Street and threatens Mother Earth. They invest in oil. They invest in copper. Everything that they're drilling and surfacing and raping from Mother Earth, this is how they gain their temples. God's not going to say, hey, yes, you raped Mother Earth. You stole from the people. And yes, I'm going to come and bless your kingdom. He's going to say, either choose money or God, no other path. You can't serve two masters. If you want to serve religion or money, you will not be able to come to the light. You will be deceived by the dark. God bless. Thank you for listening, and I love you all.